Hello, Huladunya. Kavanagh. Gaelic. Well, Falchorov, Arash, good college in the Gaelic, or son of Ceilidh, and in person, agus hashing Girach Erevit a show. Is Misha Callan, agus hami Talis Jivi Colorado, and Acht, maar Fedentaya. So my name is Colin McDonald, and we're thrilled to have a nice crowd here tonight for our first Ceilidh back in person. And it's just as we were talking about, we're on our way to the summer now. So welcome everyone to our Wednesday night Ceilidh. We have quite a few people online as well watching the Ceilidh. Hello to you, Kavanagh, and thanks for being with us. It's a very exciting time of year. The month of May is Gaelic Awareness Month, or Mias den Gael, as we say in Gaelic. And there's all kinds of activities happening during the month for Gaelic. And one of them happens to be right here at the college. We have two immersion courses taking place right now. And a lot of the students are among us here, so you might hear a little more Gaelic tonight if you're coming in off the road. We have our 4-week immersion in Corsapoki taking place. And we also have a 2-week immersion that just started this week for advanced beginners. So we have advanced beginner learners, intermediate learners, all kinds of Gaelic this month here at the college. And to learn more about those programs, you can go to gaeliccollege.edu. So we are going to start the Ceilidh off with a Gaelic song, and I'd like to welcome our instructor for In Corsapoki, our 4-week immersion, to the stage, Miss Maddie Britton. We're going to sing a milling song. Well, it's actually a sailing song, and Tapal at the Valley, or somebody call it her. Get the hell, me airmen, oh how I smell mine air, me ching get the hell, me airmen, sound of Boston, hell, she door, what you unna each, and get the hell, me airmen, oh how I smell mine air, me ching get the hell, me airmen, oh ranging court the Cree, Captain of our Gavari, walk get the hell, me airmen, oh how I smell mine air, me ching get the hell, me airmen, oh 3 war on the Norwick, Hennick, Gordon, and Rocky, to get the hell, me airmen, oh how I smell mine air, me ching get the hell, me airmen, Heiji Croy, Ornley, Frassen, is Falk, Velen, the Mill, Chuck at the hell, me airmen, oh how I smell mine air, me ching at the hell, me airmen, Heilschen Krakener, Warren, Svar, Gersten, and Skier, get the hell, me airmen, oh how I smell mine air, me ching at the hell, me airmen, Harrow, Ropus, Harrow, or Lochner, Row, and Row 3, I'll get the hell, me airmen, oh how I smell mine air, me ching at the hell, me airmen, Elm the Norwick, Harrow, Candy, Harrow, St. Downs, and Cheer, shall get the hell, me airmen, oh how I smell mine air, me ching get the hell, me airmen, how I smell mine air, me ching get the hell, me airmen. Thank you very much, Maddie. Gaelic songs are, especially milling songs, are much better sung with others. It gives you a chance to catch your breath too, which is nice. So we may come back to some Gaelic singing later on in the Ceilidh, and just a heads up to any In Corsapoki students out there, we we're thinking of doing the song that we worked on there, Harinyo Rail Yuo. So anyone who's willing, Mahaship Jiauna, would love to have you join us. Gleva. So just a couple of things to mention. Washrooms are at the back of the hall, just out in the foyer. Turn left and you'll see them there. And at the back here we have Gail Montgomery, our Director of Housekeeping. She's keeping us refreshed tonight. So there's tea and coffee and stew watcher kotiach. There's some other adult beverages there as well if you're interested. And go see Gail if you're thirsty. And I think that about covers it. We're going to get to the tunes now, and I'd like to welcome our guests for tonight. We have Troy MacGillivray and Andrea Beaton. So put your hands together.
Well, I'm glad that I didn't let go, at least. Oh, yes. Wonderful. Hi. I'm just going to keep playing. I can talk later. I have nothing to say. Important. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'll go get another one.
Okay. see, yes, of course. Oh, right.
There, you can tell that one's making tight.
Better be careful what I say. Camera.
Make sure it's on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Try it.
Go.
Hello. Oh,
There. And I just make sure you're up down there. I just didn't want
Okay.
that to fall.
yeah.
You're good now.
Hi everyone. Nice to see you all. Yeah, we started with a Howie McDonald tune in the first group called Clark Road, and went into a bunch of other stuff, ending with one of my dad's tunes called Strass Bay Place, Real. And the next group, some jigs, and I ended with another one of my dad's tunes, and that's one he wrote for Buddy McMaster called Buddy's Order of Canada. And a whole bunch of other stuff in between, but you don't need to know all the names right now. You could ask me later if you're interested. We'll do one more little group here. What will I play? I think I'll do a little group in D. Maybe starting with the laddie with the platy and seeing where we go from there, since we're near the Hall of the Clans. Here we go.
middle a little bit there, Colin.
What's that, sorry?
Then you might have to adjust that a little bit, but
Yeah. Let's hear it. Let's hear it once again for join together Andrea Beaton. How's everyone doing now? Kim and a hash. Leave that. Are you ready for another Gaelic song? We're going to invite up Bahalam Falchakod Dunya Sambi out Savoki Aha Jaunach. So Koha Jaunach. Jaunach means willing. So we're asking who's Jaunach? Who's willing? Everyone's jumping up at once here. You can't see it online, but it's a stampede. Hickim a doing.
What was the show? We're going to do it up here on the stage. We do have a nice clay milling table here, but we're not going to use it. I think it's a little easier to be up on the stage with the mic. Jean Japan! These are troopers, these guys, and more in the audience as well that are there at the Gopper Chulcruai the Gaelic is at the Gian of Arthish, is at the Gian of Humme. They're really working hard this month and they're making great progress.
This is the most English they heard in a long time.
I know. I feel very strange. Oh yes, we have one more joining us, Sarah. Excellent. Okay, so we'll teach you the chorus as well to this one. It's another sort of milling song with a sailing theme to it, and the chorus goes. So Horano Rahiyua, Huravo Rahukela, Huravo Rahukela, Horano Rahiyua, Horano Rahiyua. So this is a song that I learned from the singing of Maddy Sheen and Nichlwylmain, Mary Jane Lamond, agus Cuideach Shock and Maddy Ganny, John Shaw, who was a wonderful singer from the North Shore. There's a great archive recording of him. So we'll give this a go. Hami Kara Gopperid, I'm still kind of working on this one, so we'll see if I do the verses in the right order. We're all learning. So let's try the chorus again. Jamaica, or no. Ua Shanach Sark Stop and Brown the ounce a gowd gown the fame or no Rahi Ua Yaravo Rahu Kela or no Rahi Ua Yaravo Rahu Kela or no Rahi Ua. Tack för dig!
Tapa le Tavadi, agus Tapa Live Ulla, Naholani, Gianna, and Corsapoki. So big thanks to Maddie for leading the song and to our students for joining and, as we say, lifting the chorus. A total fan. Galeva. And I'll also mention about these students, they traveled far and wide to be here. We have students from across the country, from the States, and even as far as Australia here with us. Shinaka Day, Shinaka E. And we're having a great time. So Anish Bahalam Falchahud Air. So next I would like to welcome Michael Kavanagh, who is also our sound man here tonight, doing a fantastic job. Let's hear it for Michael Kavanagh. And Michael's going to share some songs with us and guitar as well. So I hope you enjoy.
Hello. Hello. How's everybody doing this evening? All right, I'm going to jump in here and do a quick few songs for you. Doesn't take long for it to go to tune if it's just sitting up here for a little bit. There we go. Start out with a version of a Dougie MacLean tune here for you. It's called the Caledonia. I don't know if you can see changes that have come over me these past few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been telling old stories and singing songs. Makes me think about where I came from, and that's the reason why I seem so far away today. I'll tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me now. I'm going home. And if I should stranger, well, I think that it'd be more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Well, I moved and kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proving, lost the friends I needed losing, gave others along the way. I kissed the ladies and let them cry, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've traveled hard, sometimes with conscience aligned, somewhere in the wind. Ah, but let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, well, I think that it'd be more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Now I'm sitting here before the fire, the empty room, the forest choir, the flames that couldn't get any higher, they withered, now they're gone. Oh, but I'm steady thinking my way is clear. I know what I will do tomorrow. The hands are shaking, the kisses flow, now all disappear. Ah, but let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. If I could become a stranger, well, I think that it'd be more than sad. Caledonia's been everything. Caledonia's been everything. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Hey, well, that's right. Yeah. How you doing, boy? Try out a rendition of a J.P. Cormier song now for you. Just a lad I was of 13 years when my father passed away, and I had a daily job as a can on the holiday. All the time I spent one summer past turned into 50 years, and the sound sailed her proud, fair maiden of the sea. There was never another like her, no one for her but me. And I saw time with me and my pride, no man could be my equal. Through the eye of an eagle-eyed sailor any day. When I grew older, I couldn't hold her, my courage slipped away. So they put a young boy with cancel at the wheel of the Molly Maid. All the years went by and the tales ran high of the catches we brought in. There were times when thought we'd sink her, but her spirit would not give in. Words were spoken and souls were broken, the bottle shattered mine. I can see that she outran me, I am now in the war of time. And I saw the days of mid-devil waves, no man could be my equal. Through the eye of an eagle-eyed sailor any day. When I grew older, I couldn't hold her, my courage slipped away. So they put a young boy from Hanso at the wheel of the Molly Maid. I was there to see her sail away in the cold December haze. But the cancel boy never seen the lights of the southeast wind and waves. In the harbor mouth, he drifted south right into Lighthouse Rock. Then he smashed her can and he laid her low as I watched there from the dock. I saw time with me and my pride, no man could be my equal. Through the eye of an eagle-eyed sailor any day. When I grew older, I couldn't hold her, my courage slipped away. So they put a young boy from Ganso at the wheel of the Molly Maid. I saw time with me and my pride, no man could be my equal. Through the eye of an eagle-eyed sailor any day. When I grew older, I couldn't hold her, my courage slipped away. So they put a young boy from Ganso at the wheel of the Molly Maid. And there'll never be another of the likes of the Molly Maid. And I wish that I'd gone down, boys, at the wheel of the Molly Maid. Off the beaten path here with this one of my favorite songs. A band from the United States called Need to Breathe does this one from the southern United States. But it's a really pretty tune called Stones Under Rushing Waters. go by like stones under a rushing water. We only know when it's gone. Yeah, when it's gone. Oh, it's gone. Years go by like water in a lover's eyes. Oh, the years go by like water in a lover's eyes. The years go by like water in a lover's eyes. Oh, the years go by like water in a lover's eyes. Some stones under some waters there. Agreed.
One more, Colin? I don't, or is that, or what, is it good?
I think we're good, but
Okay.
All right, good stuff. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming with us.
See, I told you it doesn't take long for 20 minutes.
no,
to go
it
by.
doesn't. Not at all. We might have took a little longer too. Sound great. Hold that. Nach Roshin Ma. That was Michael Kavanagh, everyone. So we're going to get back to the tunes in just a minute, but before we do that, I have a short Gaelic story for you. And for our students, at least the Inkursaboki students, this will be very familiar. But it doesn't hurt. Repetition is key when you're learning, so it doesn't hurt to hear it again. Awa vashel vajist vatach spree vor. So this one day, there were two old men and they were on the spree. If you don't know what that means, some alcohol was involved and they were having a good time. And it could be one day, could be 2 days, could be a week. I'm not sure how long they were on the spree. But these two old fellas were on the spree. I guess Curid Criach Avatal. And they were after finishing their bottle that they had. I guess Achva Fisachka Goro Fada a dollar But they knew that there was a wake happening in the community. So this is going back a few years, and at that time there was no funeral home, but they would have the wake happen in the house. I guess Vafisach a big bottle now, and they knew that there would be some drinks there. Chayat Gentayada, I guess Hunagat bottle at a word. Ach beter gaif urni a gal and toshach. So they went to the wake house and they went inside and they saw, sure enough, there was a full bottle on the table. But they had to say a prayer at the coffin first. They had to pay their respects. But the only problem was with how much they had to drink and how good they were feeling, they went and knelt at the piano instead of the coffin. Agus gava dorni, and they said a prayer. So picture these two old fellas, they're knelt down at the piano, looking down at the keys. Agus hurst unyer brishinyer ella, mongroi eh. One fella said to the other, what a pity. Agus record in botach ella, well, va fiach kun bria eke kuyu. And the other fella answered, he said, well, he had beautiful teeth anyway. Shinakate. Gaelic. So, Bahalam Falcha Achure Rash, I'd like to welcome back for some more tunes, Andrea Beaton and Troy MacGillivray.
You can, yep.
Okay. Listen to that too.
Oh, sorry.
You can come down a little bit.
In mine, yep.
Yeah, I
sure.
think so.
Take just a smidge more piano. Just a tiny, tiny bit.
Hi. Trying to move it fast. Yeah, a little more piano would be
Thank
great.
you.
Sure.
How are you all doing? It's very nice to see you all here. It's dim out there, so we see you, but not your faces. So that's great. We think you're great though, and thanks for coming. We started off with a tune that as we grew up hearing that from Howie MacDonald. I forget what that march is called.
Father Eugene, someone maybe?
MacDonnell.
MacDonnell.
Yes,
Look
it's a
at us.
MacDonnell march, yeah. And so it's a tune that Howie used to play a lot, and I remember hearing it, so we started with that and just went into a regular set of G tunes, and as you say, go up to A and play stuff in A. That's what we did. So I'll play some jigs for you. One that I remember, I think it's called Man on the Moon. Buddy used to play it. Andrea's uncle Buddy used to play this a lot, and play something else with it.
Man on the moon.
That one. We thought we might see a few dancers up here in the corner doing a little square set. No? You should have went for it. How are we doing for time?
It is 8:44.
Okay, one more little set and then we'll have our finale. Whoever's
Yeah.
going to do that. Okay, we'll finish up with a blast of, I guess, traditional music here
Yeah.
of some sort. We have no decisions yet. Any picks?
You pick Barry's. Yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
Good job yourself. Join us, Colin.
Thank you.
Join us.
Yeah, come back up here. You're gonna sing or play, or
I'll jump on
you're
the
gonna stay on the piano? Okay.
Say a couple things first and
Okay.
a couple thank yous. Kelma Avashin.
There you go.
Kelma Avashin. Wasn't that great music? Yes. Well, we have one more number for you to close out the Ceilidh, a traditional finale, if you will. And we're going to, I'm going to hop on the piano and we'll get some double fiddle going. And we'll have Michael join us on guitar as well. So before we get that on the go, I just wanted to thank you all for coming out. We have quite a few locals here tonight, which is great. We'll be back again next Wednesday, and the students here on site as well. A great mix for tonight's Ceilidh. So for next week, just keep an eye on our Facebook page, and we'll be announcing who's playing next week's Wednesday Night Ceilidh.
Sean McDonald and Susan McLean.
Sean McDonald and Susan McLean are our guests, and there may be a couple added to that as well. So thanks again, everyone, and Bisha na Brun, we'll be talking. Oh, great. So maybe we'll move. Sure.
Sorry. These things don't like me.